Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, welcome back to the Bible Bistro. Today, Daily Dose Radio is studying Psalm 89. We've been studying this all week. This is the first part of our study in Psalm 89. Next week, we'll take up the second piece. There's going to be 3 pieces because this is a really long psalm, and it's an important psalm. It's important because it ends the second book of the Psalter, and it's important because of the wonderful theology that this psalm gives to us. And if you like organic Bible study that's fresh and delicious, that's responsibly handled, that's organically grown, that is locally sourced, if you like it free trade, this is the Bible study for you. And if you like that kind of Bible study, you're going to like our podcast called The School of Wisdom, which is a Bible study in the book of Proverbs. So I want you to check that out. We're going to be launching that this week on daily, or actually in the Bible Bistro. It's going to be a podcast that you'll find in the Bible Bistro. It'll be podcast once a week. So check that out beginning this week. Also, there's materials that you can get for that. Go to mydailydose.com and find those. Listen to the podcast, and on the podcast, I'll tell you what you need and where you can find it. But that'll begin this week. I hope you'll join me for a 31-week study in the book of Proverbs. Okay, we're looking at Psalm 89, verses 12 through 14. Let me go ahead and read those, and then I'll make some comments here. The north and the south thou hast created them. Tabor and Hermon shall rejoice in thy name. Thou hast a mighty arm. Strong is thy hand, and high is thy right hand. Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. So we have here the north and the south, you have created them. Isn't that interesting? The north and the south. You know, when I was a boy, I was in Boy Scouts, and one of the skills they taught me in Boy Scouts was how to use a compass. A very important skill, especially if you're out in the woods and you don't know how to get back to wherever you came from. You can take a compass point and find your way home. The compasses that we used, the compass is flat, it's parallel to the ground so that the needle can spin and find its true north. And then it had an adjustable lens. So if you needed to go east and that needle's pointing north, then you could turn that lens around so that you could get a bearing on east, and then it had a sight, and you could line up that dial that you just turned on the compass, had a little red line on it. You could line that line up with a sight that would sit horizontal on the compass and look down that line and find a marker, and you head towards that marker. And when you get there, then you take another sighting, and then you head towards that marker. And you get there, you take another sighting, and so forth, until you get to your destination. Well, here, the Bible says in verse 12, the north and the south, God created these. I never thought as a Boy Scout to ask the question, who made the north and the south? Here, we're told, God even made the compass points. He made all things. This is really great theology. Going back all the way to verse 5. This is great theology about who God is, what He's done. There's none like Him, and His works declare that very clearly. You have a mighty arm, strong as thy hand, high as thy right hand. This is language that comes straight out of the deliverance from Egyptian captivity. God is said to have a strong hand and strong arm and a high right hand, and that is how He delivered the children of Israel from Egyptian bondage. And then verse 14, it says, justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Go back and look at Proverbs chapter 1, verse 3, and you'll see that this is a part of one of those 10 conditions in the book of Proverbs. The habitation of thy throne, justice and judgment, mercy and truth shall go before thy face. And didn't we have mercy and truth already here in this passage? I think we did. Go back and find that. Mercy and truth go before the Lord. All right, tomorrow we'll pick up on verse 15, and we're going to look at the people that are blessed. So join me then on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.